r/AskReddit.
What's something fucked up you witnessed as a child that you were oblivious to until you grew up?
A response to the post.
My mom used to let me watch cartoons late at night in her room as long as I didn't turn around or be too loud. I would always hear her flicking a lighter but didn't think too much about it. Years later I found out she was smoking meth right behind me and blowing it out the window. She would use me as excuse as to why she was awake if my stepdad woke up and caught her.
A response to this comment.
My father used to take my sister and I to our uncle's house and would shoot up on heroin and pass out on the couch. Didn't realize until much later he wasn't even our uncle, just a guy he knew. It's a miracle nothing happened to us tbh. This is now my highest upvoted comment. Yikes.
A response to the post.
I remember having a friend in high school whose parents were practically absent for most of his childhood. We used to make jokes about how jealous we were that he got to do basically whatever he wanted. He could sleep over at anyone's house any day of the week, and never had a curfew. We got close and I started coming over to his house, which was very dirty to say the least. All the food was microwavable or non-perishable/junk foods. They had a turtle tank in the kitchen between the sink and the stove, dishes always stacked, trash everywhere, etc. My friend would jump at any opportunity to stay at our houses whenever our parents allowed, but I had to stop after a while because my friend didn't clean up after himself often. One day, my mom got upset after he left breadcrumbs all over our couch. She said, "He should know better. What would his parents think?" "Well, Mom, I don't think they'd think much." I proceed to explain the conditions of his house. My mother was shocked and insisted he sleep over whenever he needed, but only if I made sure he learned to clean up after himself and was well fed. Post-edit. I wasn't expecting this to blow up, but thank you all for your kind words. Unfortunately, I was not able to keep up with my friend due to difference in age. I graduated HS and left for university couple years before him, but last I heard of him he was smoking a lot of weed, mellowed out, and has more direction in life, going to the local community college, working part-time as well. I do hope he is well. Don't be afraid to help a friend, y'all.
A response to this comment.
For some reason, this happens very often. I had several friends when I was growing up with similar mannerisms: doesn't clean up, wears dirty clothes, smells, and never wanted me to visit their houses. I always thought it was weird that everyone wanted to come to my house and hang out. Everyone would come over, and my mom would always have food for everyone. At some point when I was in high school I had to do a project with one of them. I visited the friend's house and quickly discovered their parents were nowhere to be found. Dirty, no food, parents gone for days. It was terrible, and I always made a point to ensure they understood my house was open if they needed a place to stay or needed anything else.
A response to the post.
My uncle withdrawing from drugs. He was always the fun, loud, crazy uncle. I was around 10 and my mom and I came home from somewhere, and when we pulled up he was sitting outside and said he needed a place to stay. My mom had to work the next day and he and I were both hanging out at the house, and I could tell he didn't feel well and was dry heaving. It was really scary. I asked him if I should call 911 and he said no, he'd be okay. I had no idea he had drug problems until I became an adult. He passed away not too long ago from liver failure.
A response to this comment.
I'm so sorry. He was a great uncle, especially for keeping his problems separate from his relationship with you.
A response to the post.
Finding out that breaking a cup or spilling a drink wasn't a big deal was quite an eye-opener. Watching my girlfriend look at me like I'm nuts while I apologize for 20 minutes about dropping a glass of water made me reevaluate a lot of my childhood.
A response to this comment.
A few weeks ago I was cleaning up, stacking dishes into the sink. I accidentally broke a glass. I inwardly braced for the smallest fraction of a second to be yelled at and insulted, if not downright hit for breaking a glass. I'm in my late 40s and live alone. That kind of stuff stays with you for decades.